Subscribe to Automation Studio channel and press on bell icon to get new notification video. Hello guys, this is Praveen from Automation Studio channel, and in this video we are going to see how to create a base class. So in our previous video we have seen like how to create a iOS native app sample test class, okay, and how to enhance it. So within this video we are going to see how to create a base class over there and what are the benefits of the base class. So let's start with this. So as you see, like my device is ready, and this is my simulator, iPhone X 11.2, and I do have my appium desktop already installed in my machine, and I'm going to use it at the time of the development. Okay, let's move into the IDE. So this is Eclipse IDE, what I'm going to use here. And as per to my previous video, we have reached so far, like we have created a scenario or test case where I have just a login and then perform the logout. So this is all about my test steps. Okay, from here we need to start it now. So let's understand about the base test. What is a base class or base test class? You can call it a base test class. So as the name says, base, so base means like it could be a parent. Okay, so in Java or in any OOPS language, so there is a concept of inheritance, right? So what does inheritance do in the case of Java? Like it's a parent to child relationship. Okay, we are performing here, we are creating the capabilities, okay, and we are creating the driver. So that could be a common steps or common procedure, okay, for my every test script. I have to write suppose 10 or 50 test cases, okay, similar to the for this application, right? So for each and every case, this set of action will be common, right? So okay, the best way is like you can create a one base test, okay, which will be applicable for that particular application, okay, and then you can extend your this test class with that. Automatically when your test class will call, those particular set of action will get executed. Okay, here in this case, if I have to launch my driver, then I should create one base test class, okay, and I should extend this class to my base test class. So what my base test class will do, whenever I will call this, execute this sample iOS test, first all the instruction whatever the present under the base test class will get executed, and that class will give me a driver object. Okay, so that I should not need to mention in every test this particular set piece of code. Okay, so in other language you can say that the repetitive piece of code you can store in a one class, and you can say like this is my parent class, okay, which will do the set of instruction before my test case will gets invoked. Okay, so this is all about the base test class theoretically. Okay, but now here we are going to see it practical, right? Okay, so what we should do here, so let's right click on that SAM package and go to class, and you can say base test. Okay, so here is base test class. Now we need to identify like how much piece of code we can could be repetitive, okay, or which can be common amongst my upcoming classes, test classes. Okay, so obviously desired capabilities and the formation of device, okay, or sorry, driver should be a common step which I should need before my class gets executed, my test class gets executed. Okay, so for sure this piece of code should be a part of a BaseTest class. Okay, then what in this case what should I do? I'm going to create one constructor BaseTest. Okay, and within that constructor I'm going to mention this piece of code. Okay, like that. Okay, and let me add this exception, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this piece of code. Okay, obviously there will be error because we have removed the appium driver. So but here we need to extend it with BaseTest. Okay, so I need to add here this constructor. Okay, that's good. Okay, even though why it is not recognizable, because what you need to do is within this piece of block, this object is behaving as a block object, so you have to define here like in this way, so like that, and just a null, and here you can use it. Okay, just like that. That's it. Now if you will see this appium, now it is coming from the base class, which is a BaseTest class. Okay, BaseTest is a name, and this is nothing but a class. Okay. So shall we try this? Okay, let's try this. So see, few of the unnecessary import we are going to remove. So let's click on that and say organize import. So it will remove the unnecessary imports. Okay, now let me run it once. Okay, so appium server is started. So now let's see how it will work. So it's going to start. Yes. Okay, so now it's going to launch, and whatever the piece of code we have written within our test file or test class, it's going to execute here. Perfect, it's going and executing fine. Okay, perfect, now it's going to perform the logout. That's cool. So this is all about our the test case by using the BaseTest class. Okay, now we will understand like in how many ways we can use this BaseTest. Okay, so here we have used as a constructor in order to initialize this piece of code. Okay, so how does it work? Because this is a child class. Okay, whenever any method will gets executed from the which is belongs to this child class, so before that obviously this constructor will come up, invoked up. BaseTest parent class constructor will be invoked. So here see, so this is a constructor, and where I'm going to call this constructor of the base class, right? This is a default constructor. So obviously this is going to execute, piece of code is going to execute, but because of some reasons you don't want to use it. Okay, I don't want to initialize basic piece of code or common piece of code through the constructor because of some reasons, or you don't want to implement in this way, then what you can do here, you can say at the rate before class, and then you can say public void and before class. Okay, so what is before class? Before class is annotation which is comes from testng. So before executing the class, before executing any test case or before initializing any class object and methods, that particular piece of code will get executed. Okay, so in this way also you can work. Okay, so if you will run it, particular thing will get start. Okay, see it's running now, the same fashion it will run. Okay, so this is how you can use with the help of testng or JUnit annotations. Okay, so it will run, let it be. Okay, let's understand in a further way. Okay, so suppose within the base test, okay, you want something like that. The piece of code should be executed like at the very first, at the very beginning. Oh, okay, before anything. Okay, at the time of compilation. So what we should do, even before class also. Okay, your requirement is something like that. In your base test, in your parent class, you have to put some piece of code in such a way, and your condition is like that, it should be run at the first. Okay, so how you can achieve it? Okay, you can achieve it uh, by using a static block. Okay, so what is a static block? Okay, and how to define it? You can just write static. Okay, and then yeah, that's a static. Okay, but within the static block, only static variable should be part of this block. So you have to define appium driver as a static. Okay, so okay, try okay, now you can use it. Okay, so now this tag become unnecessary, so let's remove it. Okay, yes, now we can again run it. Yeah. Okay, so see, now it's also working, but you have to make sure within the static block you have to keep deal with all the static members variables. Okay, and whatever the method you are also calling within that static block should be static. So these are the two conditions. Okay, so the three ways we have seen, like with the help of constructor, with the help of at the rate annotation which is provided by the test engine classes like JUnit and testng, and the third is by using the static block. Okay, perfect. So see, it's working fine now. Okay, so this is all about the base test, how you can construct it. Okay, let's see further level of the base test. Okay, base test class. So let's go here, and I'm creating the appium driver, but I'm not terminating it, right? So let me not use it as a static. I don't want to use it as a static, so let me convert into the base class. Okay, yeah, something like that. Okay, so I have removed the static variable as well as I'm using just a uh, at rate before class. Okay, now I'm going to what I have to do here. I have to quit my driver. Okay, which I'm constructing here. See, I haven't quit it, so it always running, right? So I need to quit it, so I can quit it after class. Okay, public void after class. Okay, so what I'm going to do, So see, the way the basic thing and very important thing is, if you are dealing with the testng library, okay, annotations, you should not use the JUnit annotation. If you are using with JUnit annotation, you should not use testng annotation. Okay, at a time within the project, you should use only one annotation. In most of the projects I have seen where I have worked, like earlier framework, I have observed few of the people who don't have the proper knowledge of using the test engine like JUnit and testng. People are doing this mistake. They are writing their test case saying that we are using testng here, but lot of annotations they are using, even though which is coming from the JUnit itself. At the runtime, they are causing the problem because the import is with the JUnit instead of testng engine. Okay, at that runtime, it is they are running through the testng. At that time, they are not able to recognize what annotation which is comes from the JUnit. Okay, JUnit annotation will be understood by JUnit runner. Testng annotation will be understood by testng runner. So that should be very clear for you guys. Okay, if you are using JUnit, use entire project only JUnit. If you are going to use testng in the entire project or entire file, you should have to use only testng annotations. Okay, so make sure all the annotation if you have used, I have used testng, so everywhere I have imported testng only. Okay, so what here I am going to use pm.quit. So what quit will do, it will terminate whatever the app running on test. Okay, so let's do that. So now execution is stopped within the app. Okay, but it is not closed the app. Okay, but now it will also close the app also. Okay, so let it be going on. Okay, and that will be working fine, don't worry about that. I will show you after that. Okay, so what else we can do in order to simplify this class? Okay, so we have simplified with the help of base class, and we have learned the three ways, right? With the help of constructor, with the help of annotation, with the help of static blocks, right? So this is how you can transfer your unnecessary repetitive code into a base class. Okay, base test class. Let's see execution is done, and after that everything looks fine. So see, okay, so all the three ways will work perfectly well, what I have shown you and I have demo you. So in an interviews, many interviewer will ask you this question like, hey, how to use what is the use of a base test, how you will manage your repetitive code in your test class, how you will manage it, how you are initializing the driver, and in your test class, what is the strategy you are using. So there are a lot of ways to ask this question. Okay, you have to understand your in mind, like, so repetitive code within the test class again and again, how can I manage it? Okay, the interviewer is asking about the base test class, managing a common code, repetitive code, where I should use it smartly. So there is a strategy, or there is a way to use it with the help of base test class. Okay, so that is the funda of a base test. It's very helpful, guys. Whenever we will design a framework in the future classes, then in that case this approach we have to use. And in many frameworks people are using this approach, because otherwise the test script will become very bulky, and the repetitive code will be so much in their test script. Again and again they have to write that pretty lengthy code. So instead of that, they are writing in a once, and they are just creating using it as a parent class, so that it will get executed before execution of their tests. Okay, so this is called as a smart way of dealing with. Okay guys, so in this video we have just seen like how to deal with the base test, and how you can create your base test, and in how many ways you can create the base test. So as per to your product need, project need, or application need, you can construct your base test class and you can use it. Okay, so if you guys found this video helpful, then please comment and subscribe to my channel, and also share this video to your friends who want to learn appium from the scratch. Okay, so guys, mobile automation is booming in the market as compared to the web automation. So now world is moving toward the mobile. So obviously technology is also moving toward the mobile. So there's a lot of future in mobile automation testing, and appium is very hot in the market right now. So companies are hiring like anything people who knows the appium, and now there are a lot of highly demanding framework available in the market which are dealing with the appium. So like TestNG, Cucumber, so lot of framework is now available in the market, and tool is also coming on the basis of appium also. Who has the people who has the knowledge on appium, who can understand the architecture and how to design a good script using the appium, then the companies are very interested to hire such kind of resources, and they are providing the awesome packages to them. So if you are want to learn, you are new to the appium, this is the channel is for you guys. Okay, if you know already appium but you want to brush up your skill sets, whether you are getting the right thing or not, or you want to evaluate yourself, or you are getting some interesting thing by watching this video, then my purpose is solved to create these videos. So that's all for today's guys, and see you soon. So keep subscribe, just share this video like anything to your friends, your colleagues. Okay, and yeah, goodbye, bye bye.